The human brain has a complex system of linked neurons that process information, preserve memories, and produce ideas and emotions. It works by sending electrical and chemical impulses that enable communication between various parts of the brain. The brain processes the external inputs that our senses pick up to form perceptions and interpretations of the environment. Here are 5 unexpected things your mind does that you are unaware of. 1. Inattentional blindness. Inattentional blindness is a fascinating cognitive phenomenon that highlights the limitations of human attention and perception. It happens when your mind misses out on unexpected stimuli, even though they are directly in front of you, since your concentration is on a certain activity or object. The gorilla in the basketball game experiment by psychologists Christopher Chabry and Daniel Simons is the standard illustration of inattentional blindness. In this study, participants were instructed to count the passes made by basketballs being passed from one person to another while watching a video. In the video, a guy walking around the area while wearing a gorilla suit even stops in the middle to thud his chest. Unexpectedly, about half of the participants failed to notice the gorilla at all because their attention was so intently focused on counting passes. We have a limited amount of attentional resources, which causes this occurrence. Our brains give the information we're actively paying attention to priority, frequently at the expense of noticing other data. Inattentional blindness is not a result of the eye's physical limits. Rather, it is a result of the brain's inability to process everything at once. Driving, flying, and even routine jobs are just a few of the real-world situations where inattentional blindness has significant effects. It emphasizes the necessity for us to be conscious of our cognitive constraints and actively regulate our attention in order to prevent losing important information. It's interesting to note that the phenomenon extends beyond only visual inputs. It can also happen in other sensory modalities. During a discussion, for example, you might not notice a shift in the background noise, and while you're concentrated on tasting something, you might not be able to detect certain aromas. Inattentional blindness serves as a reminder that our attention shapes the reality we view and that our minds frequently create a version of reality based on our present concentration. It also acts as a warning, showing us that we might not always see all we believe we do, which has consequences for our ability to make decisions, retain information, and even comprehend what has happened. 2. False memories. False memories are memories that feel real but are not based on actual events. They can be formed in a variety of ways, such as via suggestion, fantasy, or the fusion of invented information with actual memories. Unintentionally creating false memories is common, and people might end up believing they are true. Confabulation is a psychological phenomenon in which people make up or embellish facts to fill in memory gaps. Without intending to mislead, this might occur when someone really thinks the made-up information is accurate. Brain injury, cognitive impairments, or circumstances where memory retrieval is difficult may cause confabulation. In court trials, witness testimony, and therapy sessions, false memories can have a big impact. Leading inquiries or outside information, for instance, may have an impact on eyewitness accounts, which might result in inaccurate allegations or conclusions. Confabulation and false recollections are examples of how human memory is subject to error. It serves as a reminder that memories are reconstructed interpretations of events rather than exact records of past occurrences. This occurrence also highlights the value of using evidence-based techniques, critical thinking, and skepticism when evaluating memories and recollections, especially when there may be legal or personal repercussions. 3. Choice blindness. Choice blindness is a psychological condition in which people fail to see the differences between the options they plan to choose and the ones that are actually given to them. And even when confronted with evidence to the contrary, people might be led to believe they made a different decision than they actually did. Participants are often given 2 alternatives and asked to select between them in choice blindness tests. The researcher may employ deception or misdirection to replace the selected alternative with the unselected one after the subject makes their decision. When asked to explain their decision, participants frequently give justifications and explanations for why they selected the option they didn't actually select. The intricacy of decision-making and the extent to which our cognitive processes may cause us to justify and provide reasons for our choices are both highlighted by choice blindness tests. Understanding choice blindness can help people become more self-aware of the choices they make and the justifications they provide for them. It serves as a reminder that our underlying cognitive processes may not always be in line with our conscious understanding of our decisions. In summary, Choice blindness reveals the nuances of human cognition and behavior by revealing the complex interplay of perception, memory, and self-justification in decision-making. 4. Déjà vu. Déjà vu is a French term that translates to already seen. It describes the unsettling sensation of going through or encountering something fresh right now while feeling as though you've done it before. Even if there is no actual recall of the earlier event, this emotion frequently comes with a sense of familiarity and recognition. Experiences of déjà vu are frequently brief and temporary, lasting only a few seconds. People may find it difficult to recall the specifics of the purported prior incident that caused the feeling after it has passed. Déjà vu draws attention to the intricate interactions between memory, perception, and the brain's information processing mechanisms. It serves as a reminder that our sense of familiarity and recognition is not necessarily based on explicit memories and that our brains may produce déjà vu sensations even in unfamiliar circumstances. In conclusion, déjà vu is still a fascinating and mysterious occurrence, but it also demonstrates the complexity of the human brain and the unsolved questions surrounding memory and perception. 5. Implicit bias. The term implicit bias describes attitudes, preconceptions, and prejudices that arise unintentionally and affect our perceptions, assessments, and actions. These biases work unconsciously and may affect how we connect with people, make decisions, and behave in social settings. The effects of implicit biases on interpersonal relationships, workplace dynamics, healthcare, criminal justice, and other areas are significant. They have the power to maintain systemic injustice and prejudice. To promote inclusive and just societies, it is crucial to recognize and overcome unconscious prejudices. In conclusion, implicit biases have potent yet frequently undetectable impacts on our attitudes and actions. For there to be a more just and equal society, it is essential to acknowledge their presence, investigate their causes, and take aggressive measures to combat them. These unexpected features of your mind show how complicated human cognition is and how unconscious processes may affect your ideas, perceptions, and behaviors. Next time, be aware of both your own and your mind's intentions.